Shalom, Israel. Bless you all. Got something for you. It's a product review for something I've been using for a little bit. I wanted to get some good time using it before I gave a review of it, but it is something to help with practicing your shooting. It's called iTarget, okay? And I don't know where I saw this. I think it was on one of those ads or something, but I saw it, checked it out for a little bit. I was like, wasn't too sure. Went back and looked at it, did some research on it, and looked at some of the reviews. Thought I'd take a chance on it, and I'm actually glad I did. So, what it comes with is, where'd it go? So it comes with the laser bullet, and here it is. Okay, so you can see that. It's got like a brass casing laser bullet, some O-rings on it to keep it in the chamber. And the back of it, where that activates the laser, also functions as a snap cap. Okay. So, you see that? Get on that back wall too. There you go. Okay. And then there's a little black target, little plastic, kind of glossy paper target right here, and then it just holds it in right here. And then there's a holder for your cell phone, okay? This down here just amplifies the sound of your cell phone. But the main component of this is an app called iTarget Pro. You download it on Android or Apple. There's a free version and then there's a paid version. I've just been using the free version. Maybe in the future I might get the paid one, but for now the free one has been meeting all my needs. And so essentially it just helps you get better. It lets you know where your shot is going with your dry firing. It's always a good idea to dry fire, and per pastor's instructions, it's good to get familiar with your weapon, dry fire, and live fire it. And I found that this is kind of an economical route for those times where you may not be able to go and do some live fire training, whether it be for economic reasons, finding a good spot to shoot. Me in particular, I can't just take my wife and my child to a gun range here in town. So this is something I've been having Ashley do, and I'll have her do some more of, kind of amping it up now to train and get familiar with the weapon through dry firing. So once you download the app, and I made a screenshot video of the app showing exactly what it does, and I'll upload that after I upload this one. But once you download the app, it'll just use your camera's back. It'll use your phone's back camera to see the target. As you can see my hand on the screen. And what it does, it'll track where the laser hits and superimpose a bullet hole there with with the sound of a shot. And it'll tabulate the score based on which ring it hits in. Okay, so you do have to zero it in. Just holding down your finger on the target, a little red circle will pop up, and you just put the bullseye in the 10 ring. And you'll see that on the screenshot video that I'm going to upload. But you can tabulate from how far away you're shooting. And I've tested it up to, I think, 35 feet, and it worked just fine. The laser caught it. So what the app does is once you start shooting, and again, you'll see it on the screenshot video, and I'll show you real quick here. There's different settings you can change. You can change the aspect ratio, all that stuff. But you can also kind of change the lighting settings, because those will be important for you. But once you put the laser bullet into your firearm, I got a Glock 19 right here, and you just begin to shoot and see where you are. So I got it set to 1 foot away just for demonstration purposes, so you can see what it looks like and how it sounds. So as you can see right before I start, that this is what the app looks like. Okay, so you can see the target back there, and of course you can see my hand. So I'm just gonna fire once just so you can see what it looks like. Okay, it's gonna be a little weird, but we can make it work. So you see. So I didn't press play then, but you saw how the laser hit the back. So anytime you start, obviously push play. That's the main thing to do. But once you push play, you just begin to shoot. So you see it makes the sound. You saw that it hit the back of the target. And as you look on the camera, on your app, so you see it says the bullet hole landed in the 9 ring, but it tabulated as a 6. So that just means I need to recalibrate it, probably because I was moving it all over the place, that it didn't track it where it should have went. So you can see you just hold it down and just put that in the middle. Doesn't really matter for demonstration purposes, but when you're being more accurate, you can do that later. So some of the pros about it, obviously it's already economical. This whole setup only costs $90. And they actually have these in 38 special, 380, 9mm, 40, 45, and 223 Remington. So you can use it for various handguns and even your what they call sporting rifles or anything like that, to get some practice in, some dry firing in. So some of the things I like about it, other than it's economical, each bullet, by the way, once you buy the little setup that has the hole and everything, each bullet after that is only 60 to 70 bucks, which when you consider how much you would spend on a decent range day is not too bad to have a good way of doing some live fire training where you can actually track where your shot's going. And then the laser bullets, each of them do come with a battery already built in, and then it also comes with 3 extra batteries. So you get some pretty good life out of it. The other thing, since it is a laser, it's very accurate. I've also been able to see for me, when I'm drawing or something like that, I've noticed that a tendency for me is that when I'm squeezing the trigger, not trying to just, bust, just crank on the trigger and manhandle the gun, that even when I'm squeezing it, sometimes if I'm not paying attention and getting it set in my mind, I'll pull to the left a little bit. And whereas if I was simply dry firing, I wouldn't be able to tell that. So having some kind of feedback to see where my shot's going has been helpful. And so it's allowed me to make some corrections to see, okay, that's why that shot was off. And even from a distance out 30, 40 feet, I've been able to do that. I haven't seen a limit of how many shots it'll record at a time. I had this thing up to, I think, like 200, 700, or 270 to 300 shots, something like that. And it just keeps tabulating the score. It will, obviously, since it's not permanently, but continuously using your phone's camera and your phone's screen, it will kind of drain your battery a little bit more. So just watch out for that. If you need to use your phone for something else afterwards, just make sure you got a charger. Downside, some people say it's a downside, some people don't. Some of the reviews I was reading, I don't actually think it's a downside, just based off my personal experience with this for the last month, is that, you'd have to rack it every time. So get one and then you got to rack it back. So some people say that they don't like that. I personally like it just because even when you're live firing, once you get that recoil from the round going through, you still have to get your sight alignment back in to get the next shot off. So I think that having the racket each time simulates that just a little bit, so that you're not just sitting there just at the same thing, at the same target. You actually have to rack the slide again, and it get your eyes focused back on the sights of the firearm. So I personally like that. Some people say they don't. I guess it just depends. I've seen it at least helps me to get more acquainted with my weapon, especially that video Pastor did on Patreon, talking about firing with both eyes open, and then how you can practice to get accustomed to firing with both eyes open, but still looking through your weapon with your dominant eye. That was excellent. So this is another reason why I thought I'd hurry up and get this video up, just because that was some good training, and I found that this is a good way to see where your shot's going to correlate with that. Like I said, I have a screenshot video I'll upload after this that shows you exactly how the app runs. Excuse me. And I'll also put all the info for the website down below in the description box if you want to take a look at it. Let's see. There was something else. There you go. Nope, that was it. Okay. So I'm gonna show you just a demonstration real quick. I'm gonna just fire off a few shots. I already got it set to a distance of 1 foot just because it's demonstration purposes, like I said. So once you press play and everything, you can go ahead and just start racking up some. All right. Let me see if I can reposition the camera so you can actually see it. Don't think it's gonna work too well. There we go. That'll work. Okay. So say that was 10 shots. All right. And here's what those 10 shots look like. So you can see it's just superimposed onto the phone. But I don't know if you can see that, but any movement in the target will adjust it. You see that? So that's why it's good to have it on a stable surface, a table, a dresser, something that's not going to get wiggled or bumped. And it's kind of a sturdy plastic holding. So depending if you wanted it specifically placed in a location that you were going to have be permanent, I'll say it like this. An Israelite, if they wanted to place this permanently, would figure out a way to place this permanently. There isn't any set holes drilled or anything, but it's sturdy, but it's still plastic, if you know what I mean. So the other thing in the settings, and you'll see this on the screenshot video, you can change the sensitivity setting, which is very important because if there's too much light coming in, or if there's too much flickering light, it can actually register that as a shot. It can register that the laser hit the target just because any bright flashes of light, or if you got a lot of interference with lighting, and wherever you're shooting, it can take that into account. So you might want to drag the sensitivity all the way down, and you'll see what that looks like once I put that video up. I was trying to get a narration on the video, but it didn't really work. So hopefully just visually seeing it, it'll help you out. If you got any questions, just let me know. That's another one of the downsides, is that make sure that there's good lighting, but good consistent lighting wherever you're shooting. And when you are shooting, make sure that you're shooting as dead center as possible, because I've noticed that if you're trying to shoot like at an angle at the target, it throws off the scoring just a tad bit. So I had, for example, one shot, it hit the 9. It said visually it looked like it hit the 9 ring, but it registered it as a 6 just because I was shooting from an angle at the target. So if at all possible, just shoot dead center on the target. It's kind of one of the limitations I've seen of it. Other than that, I can't think of anything else. So I'm going to put all this down below, like I said, and I'll also put the link for the screenshotted video that is already uploaded. I just got to link it down below, and you'll be able to see it. But yeah, iTarget Pro, really like it. Haven't had any issues with the app, with the bullet itself, or with the holder and the target. It's been a really good product. I'm glad I purchased it for my household. And so I figured Israel might enjoy it as well. And then, of course, once you're done, since the bullet has those O-rings on it, it sticks in the chamber. So you just need to get a pen or pencil or something and knock it out, and you're good to go. So it's a pretty neat little invention. All right. Bless you all. Shalom, shalom. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below.